Welcome, everybody. Dr. Angel Acosta here. It was such privilege to be with my dear sister, Dr. Sará King. How are you doing, Zara? How are you arriving?
Oh, I love that question, how I'm arriving. I am always showing up with gratitude to be alive,
Mhm.
to be healthy, to be well. And I also just felt in this moment like taking a moment to ground in my feet. And I'm
Mhm.
realizing this is the first time that I felt my feet touching the earth since I
Mhm.
woke up this morning. And anytime I send my breath through the bottoms of my feet to touch the earth, it's such a powerful opportunity to ground and shift into my center and remember that it's not all about me.
Mm, mm, mm. Ashe, I've been a part of your orbit world network kin circle for so long, and I just want to say publicly how proud I am of you. For those of you watching, you got to check out the interview with Dr. King on YouTube at the Acosta Institute YouTube channel, where we kind of explore her work in depth. So this short conversation that I wanted to have with you is kind of literally pregnant with like all that I've held with you,
Yes.
for you, and you with me, and that interview. And the theme that came up for me was becoming more than human, consciousness, technology, and embodied awareness.
Mm.
And that title kind of came to me because of just the ways in which you hold space for the work, you know, coming from just anthropology, neuroscience, and all the, multidisciplinary approach and art. So just wanting to start there is like what where you are now, especially with some of the incredible developments that you've experienced this year with your enterprise and technology. This is really just an opportunity for the field to hear where you are now with this work, sis, around consciousness technology, and thank you for the way you just opened us with embodied awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. You coming in with the heavy hitter this morning out the gate, which I love so much. And right now, with the way that you're inviting the more than human into this space, it's really reminding me so deeply of our brother, Dr. Bayo Akomolafe. And part of the reason why I'm such an immense fan of his being and his presence and his manner of articulating himself is that I don't know that I've ever been a part of a conversation that I've been attending that he's either been leading or facilitating or that I've been a part of where he does not invite everyone to consider the consciousness and the aliveness that is present in everything.
Mm,
He invites us to be in relationship with the walls in the room around us as though they are indeed, in fact, listening
mm,
and vibrating, hearing us, holding us, the ground beneath our feet, and the aliveness of gravity itself as it is pulling us into this experience of being held by the earth itself, right? Even
mm,
the objects on the desk around me, anything, animism really is this very deeply, in his case, West African
mhm,
perspective and ideology and feeling that everything in the world is imbued with aliveness.
mm,
And that's a very radical perspective to take when we're thinking about technology, right? Because a lot of the time, especially when we're talking about artificial intelligence, I think artificial intelligence is an incredible misnomer.
Mm,
Actually, poor marketing, because there's nothing artificial about it, right?
mm,
If we really dive deeply into how artificial intelligence is made, we will see that at every step of the way, there is a human being with their consciousness
hmm
and their attachment and the environment that they have lived in and the experiences that they have had and any intergenerational trauma that they may still be holding in their nervous systems, who are training the development, the supervision of the data sets, of the algorithms, which then become fed to us, right, through hardware, through software, or it is the earth herself and her aliveness that is being mined for the very materials that then become alive in our hands. So at
mm,
every step of the way, there is earth consciousness, there is human consciousness, and anything which we have not resolved or integrated or healed in terms of our relationship with the earth and with ourselves then becomes a part of these algorithms, which we have seen
hmm
then become weaponized and operationalized to oppress in many instances,
mm,
right? So I think that that's what I'm very present to right now is the fact that each and every one of us in our experience of being conscious and aware has this extraordinary power. We are incredibly empowered in
mm,
terms of the impact that we each have in the cultivation of technology.
mm. Yeah, thank you so much. Since I can, even though I spoke to you recently, I can just like see just the pristine and precise just languaging of your perspective. So I'm just excited for your continued growth. I wanted to, I'm a big fan of MindHeart Collective, and I'm always trying to create opportunities to support your vision. So could you share a little bit about around your vision in regards to the technology you're building? Yeah,
Absolutely.
that people can
Yeah.
know like, what's popping.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say that, MindHeart Collective is referring to the community of
Mhm,
people
mhm,
who have really empowered and been so deeply a part of, yourself included, this journey that I've been on in the development of MindHeart, which is the name of my company.
mhm,
And at MindHeart, in this moment, we're really expanding ourselves to challenge ourselves and say, what does it mean to develop liberatory technology? Not just any kind of technology, technology that deeply connects us to our aliveness, that deeply connects us to our capacity to embody individual and collective liberation. And so, through that effort, we're developing what we call a mirror of loving awareness. And the mirror of loving awareness is a platform that allows anyone to track any of the phenomena that you can be aware of in your experience of your body, your feelings, thoughts, emotions, perceptions, sensations, anything related to your health and well being, any experience of pain or stress, anything that you can be aware of. And then it maps it directly onto anything that you can be aware of in your external environment, right? So your relationship with others, your relationship with the environment, with culture, with the society around you. And it is
mhm,
meant to mirror back to people in real time their transformation of awareness as it relates to their journey of healing, as it relates to their journey of well being. And so, this mirror of loving awareness, we speak to, we relate to, we tell it stories about our lives. And as we're telling it stories about our lives, and it is also picking up biometric data, right? Because oftentimes the stories that we tell about our health and well being can be different from the signals that our body is giving about our well being. And somewhere in that relationship between that incredibly nuanced storytelling that we have to offer, each of us are born storytellers, right? And the signals that our body is giving is incredibly relevant information about what it means to truly flourish. And so that's what we're working on. But I must say, as an organization, we really have this ethos that AI in particular is one of many tools at our behest in terms of technology that we can use to really deeply connect with ourselves and heal intergenerational trauma.
Yeah, every time I hear it, sis, it's a bold vision. Any, what do you need right now? I know that's something I keep coming back to, and I just want to make sure that the community understands how we need to show up right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for that question, brother. One of the things that we need the most is community participation. Most technology companies out there, the big technology companies, are not necessarily interested in having a relationship with the communities that they intend to serve that is based on the development of beloved community,
Mm,
right? So we understand that we don't have any capacity to develop a technology that is going to aid in the healing of intergenerational trauma if we're doing it inside of a bubble,
mm,
right? So we are really humbly opening ourselves up to um, this invitation. Anyone out there who has a dedication to their own liberation, to their own healing, to think
mhm.
about how it is that you might want to partner with us on this endeavor. And then beyond that, we're also fundraising. You understand? But in that vein, we are looking for partners in this journey of fundraising who are truly aligned,
Mm,
right? Who understand that operating from an economic point of view in a manner that only seeks to extract, right? Extract people's data, extract people's wisdom, extract what can be known is just going to reify a lot of these systems of oppression
mm.
that are currently hurting us so deeply as a collective, right? So we definitely are looking to identify partners in the journey who want to understand how the support of this kind of technology could ultimately be the support of a lot of the different goals that we have for collective healing on the planet. And economic healing and economic justice are a part of those.
Yeah, that's why I thought your work is so connected to this idea of capacity building, building our capacity in so many different levels to imagine the way you've imagined your career and as a mother, a scholar, scientist, and where you've gotten from a skills-based perspective, the skills you've had to get and resource yourself to get here, and also from consciousness and embodied awareness perspective, which are the practices and all the yoga you did and meditation to get you to this first point. I want to close out with just one last invitation for some comments, because so much of the work that I hear from you is like you're also wayfinding. You're just kind of like obviously you have this technology, mind, heart, and this body of work, but there's still like this curiosity of trying to navigate just the world. So I'm just wondering, like 10, 20, 30 years from now when MindHeart has evolved and the technology has penetrated and maybe you developed other kinds of technology. And in terms of capacity building, what's your hope that your legacy is gonna allow and afford us? It's a big question.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'll read articles by historians or anthropologists, and, they are attempting to make an argument for how, in spite of the extraordinary amount of violence and division that we see on the planet, human beings have actually evolved to become far more empathetic,
Mm,
far more compassionate, and collaborative than at any point in time in our history.
mm,
And sometimes when I read those articles, I read those books, there's kind of this quality that emerges in me of like, ooh, I want to feel that. I want to believe that. I want to see that,
Mhm.
for myself. But there's a really big difference between what it is that we read with the written word and what we're told and what we feel when we're moving around in our day-to-day lives. So in terms of a legacy that I want to leave, I would love to say that what we have built at MindHeart actually allows human beings to map out the development of human consciousness as it relates to healing, our capacity to heal, and experience beloved community in real time. A living, breathing map of collective human consciousness that is about illuminating the very best of us. It would be a North Star.
Mm.
That's what I'd like to leave.
And that, my friend, is a massive transformative purpose.
Hey, that's how we build our capacity, right? We got to dream big.
Yeah, yeah. So just wanted to thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy, sister. I'm so proud of you. Really grateful that the community gets a chance to just kind of hear a slice of your brilliance and work and just appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much, hermano.